welcome to the patch note rundown for the most recent Taiwan patch that is said to be implemented, or is about to be implemented, if not already mistakenly Ninja or not mistakenly Ninja implemented into the global patch. So let's see here. New season of Shrine of Nightmare. The third season of the Temple of Doom is about to debut. The theme of this season, and this is the third season for Taiwan, by the way, this is not for us. Shrine of Darkness appears confident as sinking. The bosses appearing this time are Demon Race, Dark Attribute, Large Scale Abyss Knight. So basically, a lot of like different elements besides Holy here. So maybe ME priests are gonna have, a resurgence because they kind of, let's be real, they kind of got shafted with the all holy element Juperos bosses. So at the very least, like here in the new TON season, they actually have something that's dark element. So now at least ME priests might still suck at Juperos, but at least now you have a darkness element in Temple of Nightmare. So that's some kind of consolation, I guess. Always a good thing, better than nothing. And then they proceed to say that there's also going to be an angel holy attribute. Okay, sorry.
Emotional damage.
Emmy Priest, I apologize. Who is bewitched by the voice of the dark? Look at you, degenerate. Adventures must not only avoid the interference of the dark, but also protect Valkyrie, awakening her mind before being corroded by the darkness. The angelic race dark attribute and small dark female Valkyrie, so small size, escape from the gradually expanding dark eroded area, destroy the dark core when the Valkyrie regains her sanity for a short time, and prevent darkness from invading. So it looks like there's quite a bit of mechanics here going into play into this one. So which is always good. I always think that Juperos and Temple of Nightmare are kind of like the raids, for a lack of a better term, in Ragnarok Origin. They definitely don't last as long as a raid, but at the very least they have some somewhat complex mechanics that to this day some people still can't manage to wrap their head around. We have observed that some affixes may affect the adventurer's position and block the battle screen. In order to allow adventurers to have a good experience entering the temple, the third season of the Temple of Nightmare will remove affixes Resurrected Ghost, Death Monument of the Reaper, the little tombstone, Explosion Art, which is the bomb poly, Spinning Flame, and Arena have also reduced the trigger frequency of some affixes. So there's a bit of a nerf here on some of these affixes, which is always good because it makes it a little bit more possible for free-to-play players and lower spend players. And the level requirement for affixes will be lowered for all levels of difficulty. In addition, the effects of toughness, which is resilience, and ferocity, which is fatal, have been reduced from 20% to 10%, and the affixes of tough. This is actually the affixes, not resilience and fatal. Okay. So this is just like I guess this is just the penalty from having these affixes, have them be a bit more tankier. So basically the 1 point, if you see the 1 point like affixes, it's like 20% reduction and it goes down to 10. It is expected to bring adventurers a different combat experience. New series of God's Domain weapons. Servers with a server level of 105 will open the Season of Darkness in the Shrine of Nightmare in the third season. You can get the Morning Star series of God's Arms, which is level 90 equipment. God's Domain armament can also be adjusted to level 90. Adventurers can freely choose to wear God's Domain armament of the Dawn series, Diming series, and Morningstar series after reaching level 90. So I guess these are like just new sets of armors and weapons, because they're still level 90. Yeah, I'm a little confused about this one. Through questionnaires, social platforms, oh god, and forums, we know that adventurers attach great importance to the mechanism of ignoring defense effect. After in-depth testing and adjustments internally, we also understand that ignoring defense has a profound impact on class balance. Therefore, in this update, we decided to make the following adjustments. Replace the reduce effect defense effect of some occupations with ignore defense effect. And so basically they're removing it from being a debuff to just applied to the person dealing damage itself. So that's a nerf. Some occupations with completely ignore defense effects will be adjusted to partially ignore defense effects, and a high skill multiplier will be added to them. Our goal is to ensure that each class maintains a relative balance and the ability to ignore defense. We hope that through these adjustments, we will bring you a more balanced and fair game environment, which is complete and utter bullshit. Because what this does right here, reduce defense effect versus ignore defense effect, this right here basically makes whales more vulnerable to damage when they're getting ganged up on, which is really good, right? If a free-to-play is getting one shot, they're already getting one shot, right? So the only thing that this actually affects is whales. So Gravity, nice job being sneaky, but at the end of the day, we know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're just trying to elevate the tankiness of whales even more, so they feel more powerful and they feel more inclined to spend. And that's what you're doing here. Let's not beat around the bush here. That's exactly what you're doing, right? Let's not pretend like it's anything else. And the oh, thank you to whoever that was that finished the sponsorship. Thank you. So from removing completely ignore defense effects and to partially ignore defense effects, all this does is make the people that are free to play and low spenders have less effectiveness on stacked AoEs in mass GVGs. To guess who? To whales. You know why? Because like partially ignore defense effect, all this does right here, all this does is basically makes it so if a whale has a high amount of magic defense, it doesn't get completely ignored and they don't completely get melted. If you were to drop a gravity field on a free-to-play player or low spender, it doesn't even matter. You want to know why it doesn't matter? Because they already have low magic defense. So all of this patch basically does is nerf the living hell out of free-to-play players. That's all this does. Like, let's be real, that's all this does. But, you know, with that said, now that we have deciphered what their intent is, it's just none of this complete bullshit right here. Let's stop sugarcoating that, right? Let's read up here. Regarding wizards, we have adjusted the ignoring magic defense of gravity field to ignore 80% of target's magic defense and increase the damage multiplier to 460% each time. So what does this do? From the information that we've gotten from people in Discord, that apparently some Taiwanese players have deciphered. I'm not sure if they data mined it or they figured it out on their own, but basically it makes it so the calculation for this defense ignore thing is what it does is that it subtracts your ignore magic defense first versus their magic defense, and then 80% left of that, right, is going to be removed. So let's say like after your ignore magic defense, you know, they still had 100 magic defense, right? So they just take 80% off of that. So technically they still have 20 magic defense, which means that they will always have some type of mitigation left over, which basically makes them tankier, which basically makes whales tankier even more. So basically that's just what it does. Unless I'm completely wrong, or unless the people in Taiwan are completely wrong about this, then this is indeed an actual nerf to you know, to wizard. Or it could be that it works the opposite way, where you can actually get to 100% ignore defense still and potentially even raise the DPS of gravity field, right? But since they they prefaced it as balancing, there's very little reason for this to be an actual buff. And if it is a buff, it's only going to be a buff for people that have way higher ignore magic defense, aka high spenders or whales, right? And the same thing with ME, apparently. They're also going to be doing this for as well, right? So it's just gonna be, they're gonna be adjusting this as well. And Sage, beginning the stage, Spiritual Regret will remove the effect of reducing the target's magic defense and add an effect of ignoring 20% of the magic defense. So they're gonna be removing the actual debuff and make it apply to the Sage only. We know what that means. I know what that means. You know what that means, right? Firebolt Sages, right? Firebolt Boost Protocol makes people 50% more susceptible to magic damage. Added by this right here, right? Could be good as well. Now they're going to take that away. So basically what this means here is that they're just going to potentially, for free-to-play players that are going for utility Sage, to have less effectiveness. Because what's a free-to-play gonna do with ignoring 20% of the whale's magic defense if they're going for utility? Tickle them a little bit harder? You know what I mean? Instead of like reducing their magic defense so that their peers, who are like, let's say like wizards, for example, that are whales, they can work together to take down the like say the paladin whale even harder, right? That's what they can do. That's what they can do, or they could do rather. Can't do that anymore, right? So now blacksmith as well. Trolley finisher. I think this is high speed cart ram, right? Like we'll remove the effect of reducing the target's physical defense and add the effect of ignoring 20% of physical defense, and also extend the duration of the genre imprint of the molten iron dash. So again, same thing. To a whitesmith that can't kill a whale already, this is useless. So that is a hard nerf. They're basically making it so free-to-play players can not utilize the utility in these skills to kill a whale faster. Because like if they implement these changes, it might just encourage a whale to spend a little bit more, just be a little bit more tanky, so they can be unkillable. That's all there is to it. And about the Alchemist, Fire Bottle Enhancement will remove the effect of reducing the target's defense and add an effect that reduces the target's physical and magical damage reduction. Others will add effect of ignoring 20% of physical defense. So basically same thing. Rogue's Graffiti will remove the effect of reducing the physical and magical defenses of enemies entering the range. Rogue Paradise will add an effect that ignores 20% of physical defenses, and John Every Cunning Ambush will also have a chance. The effect of adding graffiti to the enemy is adjusted to reduce the target's physical and magical reduction. So, ignores 20% of physical defenses. We know what they're doing here. And the same thing now too, like regarding assassin attributes of level 80 weapon Meteor and God's Domain weapon Meteor will reduce the bonus of ignoring defense and increase the value of crit and crit damage. So basically what this does is that now crit damage, get it from cards, get it from stats, right? Now, where can you get more ignoring defense? Right? They're boosting your crit and crit damage that you had no issues getting before, especially if you're, if you're a Synex, and they're reduce the bonus of ignoring defense. Guess what else? Guess what's gonna be giving ignore defense? Take a guess. Costumes that they're gonna be putting on a pay to win mechanic, just like this motherfucker right here, right? And they're going to give you something that you could easily get everywhere else. Right? Like, they don't have an issue getting these. They don't have an issue getting these. This is what they need. And regarding knights, oh dear god, here we go. We'll shorten the duration of Furious. We're just gonna skip that. Knights are useless. About Crusaders, we have increased the damage of the shield weight of heavy shield training to shield bash, whirling shield bash, and continuous shield bash. So like rapid smiting. Okay. So they're just gonna buff paladins again. What's going on here? The hell? About martial arts, we will increase the non-attribute physical damage caused by each air bomb in the PvE scene of fantasy magic. The hell is fantasy magic? God, you can't skip knights. There are some knights in a particular guild looking for inputs. Fine, we'll do it. Regarding knights, we will shorten the duration of the Furious gun that cannot naturally recover HP. Nah, fuck that, I'm not doing it. Garbage ass class. Alright, that's it. So we look forward to making each profession more balanced, after each profession adjustment, and we have been committed to making each profession have its own stage. We will continue to actively listen to and deeply understand the feedback from adventurers, and continue to make adjustments to provide adventurers with a better gaming experience. Suck my dick, Gravity.